our first principle, and now we're going to move on to questions before we move on to principle 2. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I just wonder if it's, is it all my fault? Am I a bad parent?
Parenting, it's an important job. Sometimes we do ask ourselves that question. Why are you feeling that way?
I just feel like I yell at the kids all the time. They just get on my every last nerve. I'm always telling them to go to their rooms or, stand in the corner and stop picking on each other. And I just feel like I have no patience.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, parenting is challenging, and you will face some behaviors that are difficult. What are some of the things that you've tried that have worked and have not?
Sending them to their rooms, sometimes that things work. Sometimes it depends on their mood. Obviously, sending them to separate rooms works better.
Okay.
I do try to catch them doing positive things, but that's so hard because I usually only notice when they're doing the really bad things because I'm so tired all the time.
Sure. Being a parent, working, all that can be challenging. Having twins can be a handful as well. But some of the things that I did pick up on, quiet time, sending your children to their rooms for a timeout is a great technique. Sometimes that's what they need, and it can give them a chance to kind of calm down and figure it out. Gives you a break as well. I hear what you're saying about sometimes we just always notice the negative that our kids do. When's the last time you did notice, though, something that they did that was positive?
I don't know. It was like maybe 4 or 5 days ago. One of them actually took the trash out without me asking.
Okay.
Out of their bedroom and dumped it in the outside thing. I think it's because there was a stinky banana peel in there, but they did it anyway.
Okay.
So
great, and that is would be a great opportunity to use praising and just praise your child for doing something well. If we always just focus on the negative behavior, that provides its own reinforcement, and we might be accidentally giving them attention for doing negative. So if we can take the time to focus and give them positive reinforcement for doing what we want, that would be really beneficial. So no, it's not all your fault. Just the fact that you're here shows that you do care and you want to learn some skills, and definitely this whole model will teach you some skills to use with positive parenting. So good question.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
How would I be able to tell if my child is drinking or taking drugs?
Interesting question. How old is your child?
Well, I have a 15-year-old also.
Oh, okay. So maybe an age-appropriate concern that you have. Okay. And again, positive parenting program, Triple P focuses on trying to develop environment and skills, a place where kids, can develop and grow up and have their needs met. Unfortunately, sometimes kids do turn to drugs, alcohol, adults do as well, to deal with difficult things. I'm an alcohol and drug counselor. Unfortunately, I see it all the time. I'm just curious, is this a concern that you have already?
Well,
or maybe you feel like this is happening?
Possibly. I just don't know what he's doing with his friends, and he seems kind of reserved. He doesn't talk to me a lot, so I just don't really know what's going on.
Okay, sure. As an alcohol and drug counselor, I would say some of the things that I would look for are, is there a difference in the people he's hanging out with, the places he's going, change in behavior, attitude. Those would be some of the things. Specifically, Triple P won't be able to help you answer that specifically. That would probably require an alcohol and drug test, okay, which you can buy online. But, good question. And, there are services available if that is somewhere you can go. Maybe is there anyone out here who knows where you could get service for a need like that? How about you?
You know what? There's a great alcohol and drug counselor at the school-based health center. Maybe you could recommend that he stop by there.
I will do that.
Sounds good. Do you have a question?
I do. So, I'm a little 5-year-old and I have a partner, and I just don't think he'll use any of these strategies. Is that okay?
Just curious, why don't you think he would be open to, techniques and strategies like this, talked about through positive parenting?
We already use a different approach to parenting right now, and I'm worried about that there is a difference. And like when I listen to this stuff, those all seem like things that I want to do, but it's not anything that he's currently done or is interested in doing. And he doesn't like that. Like, I don't want to discipline our children as harshly, but he does, and that's what he believes in.
Okay, so that is kind of what he was taught. Maybe that's what he experienced.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're here and that you want to learn a different way. Positive parenting, in my opinion, is the way to go. We want to encourage our kids to, and model for them a good direction. Harsh punishment is not always the way to go. Planned ignoring is good. Praising is another good one. Sometimes we have to use a timeout. There are different techniques, but to answer your question specifically, I would say it's really important that you and your significant other are unified in your decision, whatever it is. Some of the things I would say from the Triple P point of view is, if this is something you want to try, I'd give it a try and see what happens. I believe in it. I think you will see benefit to it, and as that happens, maybe your partner will see the benefits to it, and maybe that would change his mind in time. So thank you for all your questions. Appreciate you guys coming.